फैन कम कर दो, वाला फैन चालू कर दो, फैन कम। हेलो, very good morning everyone. How are you all? Everyone fine? Super. Now, last class we are doing some basic concept about foundation. We have done first what the approach for accounting, a revision done. Then we started which concept? Accrual concept. Accrual concept may we have done the journal entries etc. Any doubt in accrual concept? No doubt in accrual concept. I have asked you to do one question. You have done, not done? If you have done, very good. If you have not done, then also very good. How many of you have done? How many have not done? So I said both are very good. Those who have done, they will, there is a high chance they will become CA. Those who have not done, there is also high chance that you will become CA. And there is nothing to worry. Nothing to worry. But when you do, when you not do, it shows your commitment level. Correct now? If you are not doing means you are not committed. And if you are not committed, the other party will leave you. Understood? The other party is ICA right now. Huh? The other party is ICA. So if you are not committed to ICA, ICA will say, come back again. Correct now? I said there is a high chance you will become CA, but what is the point of time that I don't know. Understood now? There is a high chance you will become CA, but at what point of time, that is more important. And that is, you need to decide whether minimum time or maximum time. That you need to decide. Got it? Correct? Okay. So only one question I have given, that also you have not done. It means you are busy with some other person. Who is that other person that I don't know? Correct. So those who have done, can you help me? Bolo. Can you help me? So we'll prepare which account first? Accrued income account. Correct. This accrued income account is nothing but income receivable account. It is an asset or liability? Asset. So we'll have debit balance, credit balance. So we have an opening balance. How much? To balance brought down. How much? 20,000. Correct. And we have a closing balance. How much? By balance carried down. How much? 35,000. Correct. Now I am just giving you from examination point how you should prepare. Correct. Opening balance, closing balance, write down. Then can you see the opening balance will be transferred to income, because accrued income is income receivable of last year, means income of last year but not yet received last year. So it will be receiving current year. Correct now? But it is not an income of current year. So let them buy what? Interest income. How much? 20,000. So what journal entry we have done? What journal entry we have done? Income account debit to interest income account debit to accrued income. means we are decreasing income of current year. Why? Because this is not an income of current year. Similarly, the accrued income at the end, we write down two interest income here. Two interest income na. So when I am saying two interest income, what is journal entry? It is accrued income to interest income. So we are crediting interest income, means we are increasing interest income. Why? Because this is income which is not received in current year but income of current year. So we need to increase current year income. I hope you have understood this point. Any doubt? Then there is one pre-received income. So we'll say pre-received interest income. It is a asset or liability. Liability will have which balance? Credit balance. So we'll start with opening balance in which side? Credit side. The opening balance given how much? 10,000. And closing balance given how much? 12,000. Correct. So can you say for opening balance we write down 2 what? Interest income. 2 interest income. 10,000. So what journal entry we have done for opening interest? Opening pre-received. Pre-received income to interest income. Means it become income of current year. So pre-received income means last year it was received but it was not an income of last year. It is an income of current year. So we need to increase the income of current year. We need to increase the income of current year. So pre-received account debit to what? Interest income. Similarly, closing balance we write down by what? Interest income. How much? 12,000. So what journal entry we have done? It is income account debit to pre-received income. So pre-received income at the end means it is a not an income of current year but received in current year. It is an income of next year. So it is not an income of current year. So we need to decrease the income of current year. Therefore we are doing income account debit to pre-received income. Income account debit means decrease in income. Understood? Now we'll open which account? Interest income account. Correct. Now if you want to prepare interest income account without these two accounts in exam, what will happen if they say calculate what? Interest income. So normally we don't prepare these two accounts from examination point of view. So from exam point of view, we only prepare what? Interest income account. So we will not prepare this all three account. We will only prepare interest income account. Correct? So very simple. Can I say here opening liability will come? So we write down by pre-received income. By pre-received income. What is the opening amount? Pre-received income is what? 10,000 na? And here two opening asset will come. To accrued income how much? Have you understood what I am doing? Means without journal entry also we can do. Can you say opening liability means credit balance, so it will come here. Opening asset means debit balance, so it will come here. So even though you are not able to, you don't want to do from journal entry point of view. So from accounting equation approach point of view, we can prepare ledger account. Because we know that all asset will have debit balance, all liability will have credit balance. So opening pre-receive income is a liability. It will come in which side? Credit side. Opening asset is a debit balance. So it will come in which side? Debit side. We can do in this way. Correct. Then how much interest income received? That is not given. But I have given interest income earned. So interest income earned means that has been transferred to PL. So what journal entry? Interest income to PL. That has been credited to PL. We have to what? PL. So how much has been earned batao? It is 3,13,000. So this I have given na. And by cash or bank, this we need to calculate ki how much received during the year. This we need to calculate. Correct. Now what is the closing liability? So we write down two pre-received income how much? Two pre-received income 12,000. And by accrued income how much? By accrued income 35,000. 35 na? Understood? Correct? Yes, sir. So what is the balancing figure of this account? If you calculate the balancing figure, how much it is coming? 3 lakh exactly. So this become cash which we have received during the year. This is the cash income. This is income which we have received, but that is not an income to be transferred to PL account. In PL account, how much will transfer? 3 lakh 30,000. So this become accrued income now. This is accrued income. Accrued income is whether received or receivable. Received or receivable. Understood? So this is the accrual concept. This is accrual concept. How many done mistake in this? Identified your mistake. So in CA exam, always the repeated question will not be given. Means I have just changed one information. I hope you have understood. I have changed one information. So normally this will happen in exam. You went with one question, but they will make one slide change. One slide change, and if you are not able to respond, so can I say it will affect your entire answer. The same question of 6 marks will become 0 marks. And that you need to understand what is the information given. Earned. I have not said, but when I was giving this question, I have just given stress on this point. Interest earned. That you have not understood. Means if you understood my emotions, you will not get motions. If you will not understand my emotions, you will get motions. When? In exam hall. So you want motions or you should be without motions to understand my emotions. Correct now? Got it? Understood. And those who have not done, they are super because they have not done mistake. If they have done not mistake, means they are super. If they are not committing mistake in their life na. If they are not committing, they are super person na. Are बोल रहे? Yes sir. So those who have not done, they will do mistake when? Directly in exam. Understood the reaction? So those who are doing, they will do mistake in class, but they will rectify it. Those who are not doing, they will do mistake directly where? In exam also, they will call you second time. Second time they will call you. Come after 6 months. So better do mistake in class and learn from your mistake. Understood? Next time if you are not doing, I'll consider that you don't want to pass in first attempt. Okay? Understood? Next time if you are not doing homework, what I will assume that you don't want to pass in first attempt. Then multiple attempt आराम से करेंगे ना. Life is what? 60 years. Minimum 60 years will become CA in 59 years. Multiple attempt is there. Am I right or not? देते रहेंगे. Yes sir. चलो. This you have understood. I think accrual concept whatever I have explained with this question you have understood. Got it? Any doubt you have you can ask me. Any doubt? Next concept is what? Next concept is matching concept. Matching concept. This is one of the very important concept for preparation of what? SOPL. If you don't know matching concept, it means you don't know what? How to prepare SOPL. Means matching concept is the backbone of SOPL. Correct? So who will explain what is matching concept? Anyone? Matching concept. Do you know matching concept? Means have you heard about matching concept? So if you know, you need to explain. I said in the first class, participate. Answer may be correct, answer may be wrong, but you need to participate. Who will participate? What is matching concept? Participate. Revenue should be matched with expense. So either C is correct or C might not be correct. But I'm happy that C has participated. Correct. Anyone want to add something or modify something in her answer? Once again. This is not correct. But I'm happy that you are trying. I'm happy that you are trying. Correct. Means one thing is clear that you pass CA foundation without understanding matching concept. You might be correct, don't worry. Correct na. But can I say most of you are not able to answer? So it means you pass CA foundation without understanding matching concept? Respond yes or no to bol do. I will say yes or no. I'm asking some question to you. Either say yes or no. There's nothing to realize something that we don't know anything. We don't know that point na. We should realize that we don't know. Then only we learn na. And if you think that you know, then why I'm here? I means my presence will not make any value additions na. Okay, we need to realize that we don't know that point. Okay, but even though you passed, you don't know, then also you passed. Means can I say for passing perfection is not required. For passing CA examination, what is not required? Perfection is not required. Acha, in class 10, what was your target? 50% or 90%? Target was what? 90%. Means I don't think so. Even though you achieve 70%, 80%, that is other point. But you are targeting 90% or not? Am I right or not? Your parents were saying about 50% or 90%? 90%. Arre 90%. Arre 90. Arre 90. Bola. Correct. Class 12 came. You are targeting 90% or 50%? 90. Means you will not. Means from my point of view, you will not settle below 90 na? At that point of time. Now what is the actual mark? That is different. I am not asking that. Actual marks may be more than 90 or less than 90. That is what your score. But you are targeting 90%. But in CA, what is your target? No, no. ICA has given what is the target? 50% you are CA. You are chartered accountant. 50% you achieve in aggregate in all subject. You are CA. Means target is 50% na. Our ICA says na. ICA say that we don't expect 90% from you. We don't expect 80% from you. We don't expect 75% from you. We don't expect 60%. If you are achieving 60%, you are extraordinary student, they are saying. But we don't expect you score what? 50%. You are CA. They are giving one CA name, CA word which can be added as a prefix in your name. Target is 50%, 90%. 50% na. So 50% is target. Complicate. Complicate. Think once na. Once you think. Means perfection is not required only. Am I right or not? You asked my percentage, it was in aggregate less than 60%. I don't remember exact, but it was not more than 60% in aggregate. I am chartered accountant na. Will you ask me my marks? No, no. You will not ask me. The word CA is more than enough to understand that I am chartered accountant and I am extraordinary. Am I right or not? But target is 50% na. Rank 1, rank 1 who is scoring rank 1, he also is not scoring 90%. Rank 1, any student who is getting rank 1, all India rank. Correct, all India rank. You can also achieve all India rank. I am not saying that you don't have potential to score that. But their marks will not be more than what? 70%. Understood what I am saying? So 90% become 50%. Easy only na. Am I right or not? Means perfection to not required. For 90% I will say perfection required. Am I right or not? Perfect in syllabus, then only you will score 90%. Understood. But what actually happened from class 10, 12 to CA that we are not able to score 50% also? Something is happening now. Something has happened. That we need to understand. Dhire dhire I will give you the what is the reason. Dhire dhire, not immediately. But today I have proved that CA examination, whether it is foundation, inter final, we need to score only 50% in aggregate, and if you can score, we are CA. So it is not tough as per ICA expectations. 50%, 50%, correct na? 50%. But what I want to say, matching concept, you don't miss, you are not able to answer, means you don't know, and you pass CA foundation exam, is perfection not required. Perfection not required, na? Am I right or not? Perfection not required. So what is matching concept? Whatever you said, that was reverse of the definition. We don't match revenue with expense. We match expense with revenue. Means whatever expense has been incurred to generate revenue of a current accounting period should be recorded in current year SOPL. Means what is the matching concept? Just try to understand. Means you have recorded income on which basis? This is income on which basis? Accrual ना, अभी तो दिया accrual concept, whether received or receivable. So we have already recorded income. Now what they are saying, in this expense will come only if it is incurred to generate this revenue. Means any expense which has been incurred to generate the revenue of future year, that is not an expense of current year, even though it is paid, even though it is payable. Understood? Are you able to understand what I am saying? So this is matching concept. So we are matching expense with income, not vice versa. So all the expense of current year SOPL should be matched with income of that year. Means that expense should be incurred to generate this income. If that expense has been incurred to generate future income, that expense will not be an expense of this year. That expense will be the expense of which year? In which that income was earned. A very simple example I will say. For example, you purchase a furniture account debit to bank. You have done the journal entry. So you are saying furniture, any asset, any property, plant and equipment, or any fixed asset, whatever you say. I'm just taking example, or let me take example of this camera, because I'm recording my classes. I'm using this camera in my business only. So can I take this example of camera? So I purchased this camera to record my classes, and I paid 1,20,000. This camera is of 1,20,000. Let us assume. My question to you all: this camera will provide benefit in which year? Over the year? How many year? So over the year, how many year? That I am asking. Until it is disposed. Means we need to estimate the life of this camera key, for how many year it can be used. For how many year we need to use, to we'll find out. Acha, we'll ask the technical person or vendor of this camera key, for how many year it can be used. He said it can be used for 5 years. Okay, sir. It means I can derive benefit for how many year? 5 years. So it means I will use this camera for how many year? 5 years. Means this will be used to generate revenue for how many year? So it should be allocated in how many year? And that is nothing but depreciation. Depreciation is due to matching concept. Means you are recognizing depreciation as an expense due to which concept? Means I am not saying that you have not applied matching concept in your previous life. Previous life is previous classes. But whether you are knowing this fact, this should be known by a chartered accountant. Depreciation is due to which concept? Matching concept. Correct? So we purchase furniture or camera or any other asset which provide benefit for a longer period of time. So it should be allocated in that particular period on some matching basis, matching concept. Correct? Therefore we write depreciation यहाँ पर. Depreciation, suppose 5 year and we are applying SLM, because you know straight line method, WD method, that is the method of calculating depreciation. So I am not going into calculation right now. Calculation, so you have understood how to calculate depreciation. But why we are calculating depreciation? If you don't know, then you are not chartered accountant. Am I right or not? The objective is what, why and how. What you are doing, why we are doing, now how we are doing. Am I right or not? So depreciation, suppose divided by 5. So first year how much? 1,20,000 divided by 5, how much? 25,000 na? You don't have calculator? In my class bring calculator, huh? So it means 25,000 will be in this case. Means total expenditure was how much? 1,20,000. Oh, sorry. Chalo. My mistake. Okay, sir. Now okay? Okay. Now okay. So what I am saying, to initial expenditure was how much? 1,20,000. Can I say out of this 1,20,000, first year how much benefit derived? Means for how much expenditure benefit derived? 24,000. Once benefit derived, the expenditure will become expense. Expenditure will become expense. And if benefit will be derived with an asset, with an asset. Means if the benefit will derived in future, with an asset for you. If benefit already derived, with the expense. Understood? Expense asset. Expense will go to what? SOPL. Asset will go to what? Balance sheet. Understood? Rule is very simple. Any expenditure incurred, ask one question. Benefit received. Yes, it will go where? Benefit not received will be received. Balance sheet. Simple rule, na? Rule is very simple. Understood? So, can I say the balance will be how much? 1,20,000, 96,000. So this will be an asset in balance sheet, na? Because for this benefit will derived in future. This is nothing but matching concept. So expense and this income is nothing but benefit. Benefit. The income is nothing benefit. So I am using this camera. So I can teach you. I can record my class. I can sell my recorded class. Some income will be generated or not. Because of this camera only. Am I right or not? Correct. So this 24,000 has been incurred to generate what? Income of which year? This year, suppose 23, 24. And therefore this depreciation is an expense of current year. As per which concept? Matching concept. Correct. Example number 1 you have understood. Example number 2. You are not writing, huh? You are not writing. Okay? You are not writing. You need to write with me only. Okay? I am giving time. So the CA foundations, the CA interview change the learning style. Because I'll be slow. You can write with me. Okay, na? You can write with me because I will say it one point twice, thrice. So you will be able to understand. So I will not give any time for writing extra. Whenever required, I will give you. But can you see if I'll give you writing time also, then ultimately the class number of hours will increase, and that will not be beneficial for you because we need to complete a class syllabus in time, na? Okay. The first example is depreciation. You can have the example depreciation. Done. Correct. Second example. Have you prepared trading account? You all have prepared trading account. This is what? Expense. This is income. Am I right or not? Am I writing correct or not? You write on two opening stock. Two opening stock. OS means opening stock, not operating system. Huh? In account class, we'll think about accounting terminology. Na? In computer class, think about computer terminology. Okay? Okay. So suppose you have an opening stock of 10,000. To purchase during the year, purchase what? 1 lakh. Okay? by sales. Correct. Now out of these, suppose 80% sold. So 1,10,000, 80% sold. How much sold? 80% sold. So 80% is what? 88,000. And let us assume it is has been sold at a profit of 12,000. So what is the sale price? 1 lakh is the sale price, na? This is the cost, and this is what? Profit. Am I right? So we can say the sale during the year is what? 1 lakh. 1 lakh. Correct. Then we write on buy closing stock. What is my closing stock? Closing stock is how much? 22,000. Means out of 1,10,000, how much sold? So how much remain? So 22,000 is the closing stock. So to GP means how much? 12,000 will come, and this is only GP, na? This is GP. In बचपन में you have done this. बचपन में CA foundation. In for CA, बचपन is CA foundation. We don't go to class 11, 12. Correct. Class 11, 12 also you have done this only. Correct. Now my question to you all: this closing stock is an asset or income? Asset or income? The assets will be recorded where? So why it is coming in SOPL? What is my question? Try to understand. You are not able to understand the question. What I am asking, try to understand. This is what? Income, na? We write all income this side, na? We write all income this side. You said closing stock is what? Asset. I have not said, huh? You have said. So it will be recorded in SOPL ki balance sheet. Balance sheet. Asset will go to balance sheet. Income will go to SOPL. Expense will go to SOPL. Correct na? Simple logic na? Bolna yes or no? That only we have learned. So my question is that why we are writing closing stock in income side? Matching concept. Because I am teaching what? Matching concept. Matching concept. So what is my expense? My expense is what? My expense is what? What is the amount of expense? My expense is 1 lakh? No, no, no. That is not my expense. That is not my 1,10,000 is not my expense. 1,10,000 minus what? 22,000 is my expense. Means just try to understand how much goods you have sold to generate this income. 80% na. Means you have sold this much na to generate this much income. So your expense is 88,000. 1,10,000. 88,000. Your expense is 88,000. That is matching concept. And therefore we write opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock. Minus closing stock. That is coming how much? 88,000. Understood? So this is due to which concept? Matching concept. But by writing closing stock in trading account, we are recording or we are removing? Means we are recording or removing? We are removing it from SOPL. We are not recording it. We said ki we recorded 1,10,000. We said we recorded 1,10,000, but this is not my expense. Out of 1,10,000, expense is what? So we should remove how much? From SOPL to what? Balance sheet. This is which concept? Matching concept. You know, but actually you don't know. Am I right or not? difference understanding CA foundation, CA enter. I am giving a difference you understanding, some advanced level of understanding is coming to you. Same concept. Abhi to I am teaching you CA foundation. When I come to CA enter, then I am going to kill you, huh? I am going to kill you, na, with the concept only. मजा आएगा, देखो मजा आएगा. Wherever there is a pain, there is what gain. The class will be interesting, but I am just giving you the approach. I said in my first class, you need to change your approach. If you stick to CA foundation concept only, no, we pass CA foundation, will not change our approach because we pass CA foundation, so you need to remain CA enter for 4 times. Multiple attempts. Change your approach as per the requirement of CA enter. Understood? However, actually you have understood this closing stock is removed. This is removed from what? Trading account as it is not an expense. Correct? It is what? An asset, and therefore will be recorded where? Will be recorded in balance sheet. So we are not recording, we are removing closing stock from trading account and transferring it to our balance sheet due to which concept? Matching concept. How can I say better we should write it in this way? Ki this is what trading account. My sales is how much? My sales is how much? 1 lakh. And how much expense you have incurred to generate this income? So better write on 2 cost of sales 88,000. बोले हैं सुनो. So we can write down in this way also. The cost of sales is nothing but what? Opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock. I will say this is perfect presentation. More better presentation. Am I right or not? This much expense has been incurred to generate these sales. That is matching concept. This is matching concept. Understood? Have you understood? I have given you 2 examples of matching concept. I have given you 2 examples of matching concept. Dhire you will understand. Means when I will teach you accounting standard, I will say as per matching concept. You will automatically understand. Very important concept, matching concept. Correct? It means, can I say as per matching concept, expenditure which is incurred to generate income of current accounting period will be recognized as an expense. As an expense. Understood? Correct? Have you understood? Correct. Means if I say expenditure, which provide benefit in current accounting period, which provide benefit in current accounting period. So this will become expense of current year. Understood? So it is an expense. Understood difference between expenditure and expense? Expenditure is a wider term. Expense will go to SOPL. Understood? And which provide benefit in future year. Then what? It is an asset. Correct? But sometimes whatever you have incurred expenditure. For example, what happened? You purchase some inventory which will be sold in future. So right now it is an asset or expense. Are you able to? You purchase some inventory which will be sold in future. So right now it is an asset or expense. Asset. But in transit, accident happened and entire inventory is damaged and it cannot be sold. So it means now so it will not provide any future economic benefit. Then it is what? Expense or asset? Expense only. So which will not provide any benefit. Understood? So this will be expense or asset? Correct. Normally we call it loss. It is a loss. But loss is nothing but what? Expense. Expense is a wider term which will include loss. Have you understood? Correct. Means when I am saying expenditure, this we are recognizing on which basis? Accrual basis. But whether it will be transferred to PL or balance sheet, that is based on what? Matching concept. Correct. बोलना है सुनो. Means you have done one journal entry. Purchase account debit to creditor 1 lakh. 1 lakh. Purchase account debit to creditor. You purchased. Correct. Today you have purchased. Today date is 1/4/2023. It will be sold either within 2 days or within 2-3 days or within 1 month or within 1 year. That we don't know right now. Na? It can be sold at any point of time. But right now you purchase. My question to your purchase account is a real account, nominal account or personal account? Real account, nominal account, personal account. बोलो. A real account, nominal account, personal account. Huh? A real account, nominal account, personal account. Huh? Everyone saying nominal? Correct. Let us come. But this purchase is an expense or asset? This purchase is an expense or asset? What am I asking that you say? When I ask explanation, you give explanation. I am asking very simple thing. Stick to my question. Whether it is an expense or asset, whether it has been sold, it will be sold when? Future. It is an expense or asset? Asset. Abhi we have done matching concept. देखो forget whatever you have done CA foundation ना. I am a different type of teacher. Only one in India. No rectification in my class. Only what? Concept. Only concept. And that is the backbone of CA examination. The multiple attempt comes only because of rectification. only because of rectification. CA फाउंडेशन चल गया, मजा आया. CA इंटर में it will become सजा. Understood? अभी right now I'm explaining everything. Then also you stick to CA foundation only. What is the use of giving lectures in your class? Now whenever I am teaching, you should answer from my point of view. Now if you have understood what I said, I am just giving hint also. Ki purchase today, it will be sold within 2 days, within 3 days, or 1 month, or in future. That we don't know right now. So whether benefit derived or will be derived. So benefit derived or will be derived. Listen. It will be derived or will be derived? Will be derived. So as per my concept, it is what? Bolo? It is what? Asset na? Asset. Correct. Basically this represents inventory. Whatever we purchase. Means we should open an inventory account debit to bank. Inventory we purchase na. You purchase furniture, which account debited? Furniture account. So we purchase inventory, we should open which account? Inventory account, and that is an asset. Means क्या हुआ from traditional accounting for inventory we are saying purchase account. Means why purchase account? And from there only what happened? Rectification came. Actually this is inventory now. Inventory is an asset. Once it becomes sold, it becomes cost of sales. Means expense. So inventory will become expense when it is sold. And that too, that because of that reason, this is rectification. This is rectification. Opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock. Opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock. This is rectification. Without concept, you have done this. Already I said this 22,000 is not expense. So when you purchase, out of that, this much has not been sold. So that is an asset. And whatever has been sold, that become expense. But that is during the year now. Abhi to I'm asking the first date journal entry. So when you purchase, it is a asset. It is a real account. All asset. You only said last date. All asset except what? Debt or what? Real account. Debit what comes in? Inventory is coming in. Therefore debited. बचपन में था all expense debited. Rules लग गया. But concept is this is what? Have you played carom? मार दिया. Okay, nothing. The best thing in your life that I came in your life. The best thing in your life that I came in your life. क्या होता अगर मैं नहीं होता? बोलने का सुनो. चलो ठीक है सर. तारीफ मत करो अपनी. पढ़ाओ. Have you understood this? So purchase is what? Asset. Means actually we should write an inventory account debit to creditor, but because of our traditional system accounting, we are saying purchase account debit to creditor, and we are not changing it because we are respecting our traditional accounting. We are respecting it. But once you become CA, you cannot have inventory account debit to creditor. No one will see you are wrong. You are correct only. Because you are chartered accountant. Abhi to you need to follow ICI books now. And ICI book they are writing purchase account. So we are respecting. Till you become CA. But actually it should be inventory account debit to bank. Creditor. It is an asset. If you are writing inventory account, doubt will not come only. Doubt is coming because of purchase account. Mahagatiya account. Am I right or not? Correct. So this is inventory account. Now suppose this has been sold at rupees. Suppose on, let us say on 31st March 2024. Let us say on 31st March 2024 at the end of the year. It has been sold. Entire has been sold. Has been sold at rupees 1,20,000. Batao. What is journal entry for sale? So cash or bank? Account debit to sales. How much? 1,20,000. So can you say on this date this purchase will become what expense? Because benefit derived. And suppose the sale was done in next year, the benefit derived in next year, it become expense of next year, and therefore it will become closing stock. So you say purchase is not a purchase stock. That's why I was saying beginning only, it is inventory only na. Able to understand? So now you will pass one journal entry on this date. You will say what? You will say cost of sales. You will say it become cost of sales na. Account debit to purchase. How much? 1 lakh. It means if you see this purchase account kata kata. Purchase account kata kata because now there is no asset. And in SOPL what will come? In SOPL what will come? Sales how much? And cost of sales will be transferred to PL because it become expense. This is nominal account. So we write down 2 cost of sales how much? 1 lakh. And this cost of sales is nothing but opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock. Because there is no closing stock, the purchase become what? Cost of sales. You will apply the formula na. Formula is what? Opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock. But the opening stock is nil. Purchase is how much? 1 lakh. And closing stock is what? Nil. So it become what? Cost of sales. Means if I change my example, on 1/4/2023 you purchase 1 lakh to cash or bank or creditor as per accrual concept. So initially you said you have understood, initially it was accrual concept na, but has been transferred to PL based on which concept? Matching concept. So for expense, matching concept will prevail over accrual concept. Am I right? Even though you paid, even though that was accrued, but benefit not derived, therefore it is not an expense. Am I right or not? Correct. Let me take that example. Now this journal entry you have done at the beginning of the year. Now it has been sold in next accounting year. Quite possible. Batao. What journal entry for sales you'll do? In this year what journal entry? Like in this year what is the journal entry for sale? No journal entry na. I said sold in next accounting year. Sir this year. मजा आ रहा है. मजा आ रहा है. I said sold in next year. So this journal entry will be done in next year na. So no income only. Whether there is any expense. If there is no income, will you record expense? No matching benefit. So whether it has some matching benefit. So batao this is an expense or asset? So you said nominal account initially na? Wrong or correct? You know but you don't know. Am I right or not? You know but actually you don't know. Don't worry, CA final students also don't know. If they have not taken classes from me. Don't worry. CA inter and CA final same from my point of view. Difference is what? They pass CA inter exam. Already I said in last class. You have a potential to learn anything. You should have an intention to learn. Got it? So can you see now this purchase will go to what? Balance sheet or SOPL? But in balance sheet we don't write purchase now. We write stock. And stock is nothing but inventory. So we say inventory account debit to purchase. So you are replacing the name only na. So better write down initially only inventory. But chalo we'll follow this only. Whatever we are using traditionally, we will use that only. But have you understood the concept? Have you understood the concept? CA final when will come now? I will write down inventory account debit bank. Not in CA enter. because I need to follow ICA syllabus na. In CA final when I'll come, I will say inventory account debit to cash flow bank write down. Confident. Because then we are CA final na. थोड़ा सा मजा. But right now, can you see it is actually inventory account debit to cash flow bank? So this represent what goods. Goods is nothing but what asset na. And goods is nothing but inventory. Got it? Matching concept you understood? Purchase account is nominal account or real account? Will you forget now? Even God will come, will you change your answer? No. Correct? It is a real account. Are you writing? Not writing? Please write with me because I will give much time. Dhire dhire it will become your habit. Okay, write down if you have not. This you have written? Acha, very good. This you have written? Just write down so that you can understand what I want to say. Because when you revise, you need to understand कि yes, this was the actual concept. मजा आ रहा है? मजा आ रहा है? Any doubt you need to ask me. Already I said in the last class. From your face, I understood you have some doubt. Now you have doubt. Now you have doubt. Any doubt you ask me. Subject related doubt, not personal doubt. You are thinking about someone? Someone in your life? Written na? This you have written? Hmm. Done? Can we proceed? Next topic is conservatism. देखो, I am discussing only those points which I feel that you have not understood perfectly, and for that there is some application in CA Inter. However, you have done one chapter in your CA foundation. Actually, the teacher don't teach that chapter as it is required to be done. Remember one chapter number 2 unit number 1, sorry, chapter number 1 unit number 2, accounting principle, concept and convention. Accounting concept and convention. Have you done that? Correct. But normally teacher at CA foundation level teach that theoretical basis. Only they will give the definition and I know what you have understood. I know what you have done. Correct. If you would have come to my CA foundation class, I will take 5 to 6 class on that only. 5 6 class on that. 5 6 class means one class of 2 hours. It is what? 10 hours I will give to that only. Because I know the importance of that class in CA final and CA inter. That is the base of what? CA foundation. Base you are building in CA foundation which will help you in CA inter and CA final. So conservatism, one more topic I think you know about conservatism. What is conservatism? Raise your hand. What is conservatism? Once again, we should try to minimize the and increase our income. Any different answer? Different, huh? Don't give me repeated answer. Reverse answer, na? You are saying minimize. He is saying recognize expense. Correct? You want to add something? Her answer? Matching concept? Yes, sir. I'm worried about those person who don't participate. Correct. I'm worried about those person. Okay? Participate. Even you don't? No. Correct? Give an answer. Your answer will be correct or wrong. That I will decide. Got it? Yes, sir. Whatever you know, just say. Because you have also done conservatism, na? You have also done conservatism. ना थोड़ा तो सुना होगा. चलो ठीक है. Conservatism. So your answer is what? I will say 70% correct. But to understand whether it is 100% correct, I will like to ask one question. She said that as per conservatism principle, we should anticipate all expenses. Expenses and losses are same. 1 second ago, you know but you don't know. Expenses and losses are same. So we should anticipate all expenses. Expenses include losses. Means there is a confusion between expense and loss only. And believe me, you have never asked your teacher what is the difference between expense and loss. I came in your life and I started giving definition about expense and loss. Am I right or not? Abhi to I am not starting, I am not asking you what is asset, what is liability, what is income, what is expense. That will also come. Correct na? But dire, slowly, I'll give poison in your life. Oh no. I remove poison from your life. I will not give, I will remove poison from your life. Okay. So what she said that we need to anticipate all expenses, and we should not recognize, we should not anticipate all future losses. Right? Profit means income. Income is a correct term. Correct. Now stick to your definition. Huh? As per her definition, this definition is, I will say, 70% correct, 30% masala dalna. Okay. 70% correct. Let me understand whether you know this or not. Suppose this is one accounting year. This is 31st March means year end. Means now you are preparing your balance sheet and SOP on this date. This is your future na. This is future year. This is current year. Now in future you will do business. You know you will do business na. Because I am doing business, I will teach in future also. So in future when you will do business, you will incur some salary expense. बोलना है सुनो. Salary expense, rent expense, falana expense, dikra expense, many expense. Correct. What was your definition? We should anticipate all expenses. So should we record in this year? You see it only na. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. What you said? To anticipate all expenses. Expenses will include loss. Correct. So as per your definition, to we derive this meaning only. You know but you don't know. You know but you don't know. If your definition is not correct, so how can you convince other? Means you know you will not record it. Then say correct definition na. Am I right or not? Because you have never recorded this in your life. You have never recorded these expenses in your SOP. Because of that reason you are saying no sir. But you only said to anticipate all expenses. So you want to rectify it now. Rectify. Recurring expense means non-recurring expense. Means we should anticipate non-recurring expense. Non-recurring means what? Not like that. Chalo theek hai. Now, one thing I have just given fact that you know but you don't know. And that actually you realize after discussion. After discussion na. Till now no one discussed like this. Till now no one has done discussion like this. A small concept conservatism entire backbone of financial statement. Entire financial statement is based on conservatism. And if you don't know conservatism, so can you say we cannot prepare a financial statement? Three important concepts: accrual concept, matching concept, and what? Conservatism. You want to add something? One second, one second. What? Contingent, contingent expense. Contingent expense means I have never heard about this type of term. There's a contingent liability I've heard, but you said contingent expense. So ठीक है, कुछ तो बोले, correct? Just try to understand what is the correct definition. Correct definition is what? To anticipate means conservatism principle state that we should anticipate all expected means this is not actual expense, this is expected because it will happen in future. Expected expenses arising from past event. Oh, arising from past event, but this was future event or past event? Future event. When you will do business in future, this become future event. So we are not discussing about this expense. These are expected expense, but arising out of future event, and therefore conservatism does not apply to this. So to anticipate all expected expenses arising from past event. However, we should not anticipate any expected income. I am not writing again arising from past event, it is understood. Correct? Understood? Let me take one example. This is 31st March. A fire occurred यहाँ पर. Machine damage, destroyed. But some repair expense is required or not? बोले yes or no? Repair expense is required or not in future? बोलना yes or no? बताओ. Will we provide in this year? Should we recognize in this year? Yes or no? Yes or no? Should we recognize such repair expense in current year? Yes or no? How many are saying yes? How many are saying no? How many are saying no? No is correct. Yes is wrong. Still now you have not understood. अरे बताओ, this repair expense is arising from which event? This is future. Oh, this is future. Therefore, conservatism principle will not be applicable only. Conservatism principle will not be applicable. Understood? Understood? Correct? But if I say in this way, 31st March, a fire occurred, machinery destroyed, and now you know that some expense will be happening in future. Some repair expense will be happening in future. Understood what I am saying? Now due to damage, some repair is required, so that you will do after 31st March. That you will do after 31st March. Quite possible. Quite possible ना? अरे बोलना रे ना बताओ. Whether you recognize this expense here? Yes or no? Yes. But the actual estimated. Because you don't know actual expense, you need to estimate it. So you need to recognize expected repair expense due to which principle? This is conservatism. This is past event. This is past event. I think beautiful example I have given. Beautiful example. धीरे धीरे अभी तो will learn. I'm just giving the concept which I think you know but you don't know. Which I think. So I will not teach you the entire concept of CA foundation because I have not received any fees for that. Give me fees, I will teach that also. I am पक्का chartered accountant, पक्का मारवाड़ी, पक्का Indian. ठीक है? I will not give any free सेवा. Okay? Understood? So if you give fees, then only I will teach. Are you able to understand? Understood? I think one example beautifully understood. There can be n number of example. धीरे 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 many example will come. If you have doubt, you can ask me. If you have some question in your mind, some example in your mind, you can ask me. The best example of conservatism from your point of view, from your CA foundation syllabus point of view, is provision for doubtful debt. Provision for doubtful debt. You all know provision for doubtful debt. Let us understand provision for doubtful debt. What you know, what you don't know. Correct? Yes, sir. Chalo. So now we are understanding what? Provision for doubtful debt. What is the meaning of provisions? बोलो. Conservatism means provisions are retained profit for meeting what? Expected expenses arising from what? Arising from past event. Oh, acha, acha, acha. Means we are keeping some profit aside. We are keeping some profit aside so that we can meet our future expected expenses which are arising from past event. Understood? Just try to understand. Suppose you earned a profit of what? 1 lakh. Correct? And you know that there may be in future, there may be some bad debt. Now you know bad debt, huh? There may be some bad debtor. Sales done, but in future he may not pay. So you need to apply conservatism. And suppose you are expecting that 10,000 will be what? Amount of loss. Bad debt. Okay. Now if you will not recognize provision, what will happen? This 1 lakh entirely will be available to what? Owner. Correct? Means you will transfer this 1 lakh to whom? Owner, na? And owner and business are separate. If you will give it to owner, owner will not repay na once again. So it means we are not secured now. Business is not secured. Because in business there may be some losses in future. For that we should retain some profit or not. And therefore conservatism principle says no, you don't distribute entire profit to the owner. So you retain some profit right now. So you will say minus what provision? And 10,000 you retain in business only. And 90,000 you distribute to whom? Owner. So this provision is retained profit for meeting what? Expected expenses in future arising from past event. Means your total profit was 1 lakh only. Out of 1 lakh 90,000 you have given to whom? and 10,000 is kept in business. 10,000 is kept in business, and therefore we'll pass one journal entry. Our profit will decrease and provision will increase. We'll say PL account debit to provision. We reduce our profit and will increase our retained profit provision. Understood? Have you understood? Means what journal entry we have done this for this? PL account debit to provision for doubtful debt. Understood? Correct. Bolo. This provision for doubtful debt is an asset or liability? This provision for doubtful debt is an asset or liability? Everyone saying liability? It is an asset. Achha, what is the meaning of maximum one is saying liability? So I should concentrate on liability first. What is the meaning of liability? No discussion, no discussion, no discussion. Huh? In class only discussion with me. You want to discuss, go outside the class. But liability means what? You are saying it is a liability, so I need to ask what is liability, na? Because you said it is liability. So I need to confirm what is liability from you. What is the meaning of liability? Future loss. Obligation to? Obligation to pay. Simple definition. Actual definition I will do in CA inter class. I mean, this is what 50% correct. You can become CA. Am I right or not? The obligation to pay in future is what? Liability. Obligation to pay. I think everyone satisfied also. If you have an obligation to pay in future, it is what? Liability. There is no obligation to pay. It is not a liability. Now, if suppose debtor is not giving some amount to us, we created provision. So whether we have any provision, whether we have an obligation to pay, or we have a right to receive. Means we have a right to receive that we are not able to receive. And you are saying it is a liability, it is an obligation to pay. Oh my God. Means actually it is not a liability. But you said liability, huh? You know but you don't know, huh? You know but you don't know. I said provisions are retained profit. Already I said. But you are saying liability. In balance sheet, you write down provision in asset side or liability side. Asset side or liability side. By way of deduction from debtor. Means you are never written in liability side. Why you are saying liability? You know but you don't know. You know but you don't know na, because nobody has asked you. You are doing that correct only. In balance sheet you have written provision in which side? Deducted from debtor na, or you are writing liability side. If it liability, write on liability side, means it is not a liability only. Understood difference? CA foundation, CA inter. Difference you understanding? अरे बोलना रे तेरा देखो अभी I am just what I am doing पता I am just making you comfortable with me. I could have started with one of the dangerous chapter of CA inter, but I will not start now because I was also like you. I know your emotions. I am teaching as if I am learning. So I am first making you comfortable with me. Let us first become comfortable. Otherwise, so if I will ask this thing in CA in the class and you don't know, so your confidence will decrease. your confidence will decrease. But I am teaching you right now in CA interclass. Once again, I will ask you. That time, if you will not respond, then I can kill you also. Correct? Understood? This provision is not a liability. It is neither asset nor liability. It is adjustment to an asset. Adjustment to an asset. And they have reduced from asset in the balance sheet. We can't say asset also now, because asset we have a right to receive, but now we are of the view that it will not be received. Correct? Understood? I hope you are understanding. Provision you understood. So provisions are retained profit. Understood? For meeting conservatism principle. Do you know about reserve? Reserve. I think in company account, you know reserve, general reserve, falana reserve, dhikra reserve. Reserve. Difference between provision and reserve. Whether they are same or different. Different only, sir. Name is different. Sir, कैसा बात करते सर आप? Name is only different, na? Different. Difference. What is the difference that we need to understand? Reserve also retain profit. Reserves also retain profit. Yes or no? Because general reserve you create from PL account only. You are retaining profit. The difference is what? Because general reserve is general to common general. But you are trying. I am very much happy. Believe me. I am very much happy that you are trying. And whatever you are saying, somehow I am convinced also. I am convinced also. I like your type of student. I believe me. And I was also like you when I was a student. Correct ना? I used to answer. मजा आता है. We should enjoy our answer. But you correct, huh? 50% correct, 60% correct. Perfection is required. Why something? I have given definition. Say the correct definition of provision is something. One doubt is there. Means your answer is doubtful. Provision is something. It's simple. I have given definition. Repeat the definition. Provisions are retained profit for meeting what? Expected expense arising from past event. Reserve is what? Define reserve. Provision to already have defined. Let others also try. 100% correct. देखो this definition convincing 100% मजा आ गया. Understood? Means he is able to understand my emotions. Hey, you are understanding my emotions now. Correct. Simple. I have given hint also. Reserves are retained profit to meet future expenses arising from future event. And therefore it will not come in SOPL. Therefore it will not come in SOPL. Because it is not a because of conservatism principle. Because of it is not because of conservatism principle. Or if you would have said like this now, it is not because of conservatism principle. तो मजा आ गया. Provision we are creating because of what? Conservatism principle. Reserve we are creating without applying conservatism principle. And therefore it will not be an item of SOPL. Because that expense we can't recognize. If you want to write down. Reserves are retained profit to meet what? To meet future expenses arising from what? Arising from future event. Understood? Means if suppose you want to create for this example you want to retain some profit on 31st March. Understood? For this particular example, you want to retain some profit, that is a reserve. And it will not come in SOPL. Understood? Correct? This is not based on conservatism. It's not based on conservatism. Correct? Example. Trial balance. You know trial balance of 31st March 2023. PFDD means what? Provision for doubtful debt. You want to write down full? I will write PFDD. Chalega? Provision for doubtful debt. And this is opening balance. Opening balance means what? It was created last year. This provision was created last year, na? Means last year there was some expected bad debt. For that we have already created some provision. Means last year we have passed journal entry PL account debit to provision. Am I right? Correct. Debtor. Make it 1 lakh. Now in this trial balance, debtor will be closing balance or opening balance? This will be closing balance, na? Trial balance as on 31st March. So all item will be as on 31st March. But provision last year we have created, till now we have not adjusted it. So trial balance will be given with some adjustment. Have you done this type of question in your CA foundation? Concept of CA foundation, na? Have you done this type of concept? Not done. So I am there now. Correct. Now they will give some adjustment. Actual bad debt during the year. $80,000. Or I can say 1,20,000 also. 1,20,000. Provision for doubtful debt should be maintained at 12%. Should be maintained at 12%. 12% of what? Bata. Of closing debtor, na? It is understood, huh? Of closing debtor. I think similar type of question you have done. Correct? Understood? Means can I say you need to open 2 account? One is debtor account and one is what? Provision for doubtful debt account. So what is the opening balance coming? And what is the balance given of debtor? I am writing 2 balance from trial balance because this is not opening balance, na? Means already the account has been prepared, na? Are bol de yes or no? So I am writing 2 balance from what? Trial balance. So this is closing balance, but because we don't have the information of opening balance and transaction, I am writing 2 balance from trial balance. Chalega? चलेगा? Have you understood what I am writing? 1 lakh लिख लो. 1 lakh. ना 1 lakh I changed. I changed to 10,000 to 1 lakh. What is the meaning of adjustment? Adjustment means that those transactions which is not yet recorded. Means you need to pass journal entry. Journal entry is to effect and therefore to effect. Double effect. Means adjustment are those transaction event which is not yet recorded in our books of account. We need to record it. You need to pass one journal entry. And you will pass journal entry means what? To effect. Trial balance item means what? Already recorded. Already recorded. So therefore you are not supposed to pass again journal entry for that. Understood? Correct? And therefore it is coming in the balance. Now, what is journal entry for bad debt? Bad debt account debit to debtor. So you write down by what? Bad debt. How much? 1 lakh. By bad debt 1,20,000. Sorry. Bad debt 1,20,000. Means case this is the current year bad debt for which already we created last year provision. Means this is the actual bad debt for which already we created last year provision of rupees 1 lakh. Am I right or not? Means this was only the expected expenses for which we created provision based on conservatism principle last year. And now actual loss happened. My question to you, bad debt is a nominal account or it is which account? Bad debt is a nominal account. All nominal accounts should be closed. But how you will close this account? Means you will transfer where? What journal entry you will do? One by raise your hand. What is journal entry for closing bad debt account? Means you have done bad debt to debtor. Now being a nominal account you will close it. So what will be closing entry? Closing entry means closing the account permanently. Means it will not be appearing balance sheet. That is only the. So you have closed that account. That is closing entry. Means there will be no balance. No balance, so bad debt will not come in balance sheet. Simple na? Correct. So what is the closing journal entry for what? Bad debt. Very good. PFDD means even though it is a nominal account, but this will not be closed by transfer to PL account. Why? Because already last year we have retained some profit, and the retained profit will be used for this what? Expense. So this is only retained profit na. So we write down 2 what? Bad debt. How much? Means how much profit you have retained. But what was the requirement? So what is deficit? So 20,000 will be expense of current year. And therefore we write down by PL account how much? 20,000. Means this 20,000 will go to current year PL because there was some shortfall. You created 1 lakh, but required was 1,20,000. So this is shortfall na. So last year already how much you have debited to PL? 1 lakh. Last year how much you have debited to PL? But what was the requirement? So in this year how much you will debit? 20,000. Done. Understood? Have you understood? But now they have said how much provision should be maintained. Means this should be the closing balance of which account? Provision for doubtful debt. So it means we require 1,20,000. Sorry, my mistake. 12% of what? 12% of this minus this. So your closing data is now what? 10 lakh minus what? 1 lakh 20,000. How much? It is 8 lakh 80,000. Into 12%, how much? 1 lakh 5,600. I hope you have understood. So can I say this will be our closing balance? To balance carried down, because this much we should maintain. तो बताओ, it means how much we should create. Same by PL, how much? 1,05,600. Means this can be taken as a balancing figure. This both can be taken as a balancing figure, and this will be transferred to what? PL. This will be transferred to PL. One second, I'll come. बताओ, what is the closing balance of debtor account? 8 lakh. Sorry. 8 lakh 80,000. Correct. Now I will show you with this journal entry. Okay? With journal entry I will explain. So better understanding will come. बताओ. Previous year what journal entry we have already done? PL account debit to provision for doubtful debt 1 lakh. This journal entry already we have done in previous year. Am I right or not? And because of that reason, some opening balance of provision is coming in trial balance. So last year we have created one provision, PL account debit to provision. Correct. Now we are discussing about current year, na? Current year. Can I say for actual bad debt what journal entry will do? Actual bad debt. Journal entry what? Bad debt. Account debit to what? Debtor. So your debtor will be reduced because now it become actual loss. That amount is not recoverable. So it become what? How much? 1,20,000. Correct. Now for this already you have created this provision, na? Means for current year bad debt, actual bad debt, already last year you have created provision. So this bad debt account should be closed by transferring to current year PL account, or we should close it to be closed with provision for doubtful debt account. Provision for doubtful, because this was retained profit only. So now we'll use this retained profit to meet these expenses now. So this will be used to meet these expenses. Correct? So we'll say provision for doubtful debt. How much? 1 lakh. But how much is the actual bad debt? Bad debt is how much? 1,20,000. So there is a deficiency now. Means last year you should create how much? 1,20,000. But you have created how much? 1 lakh. Based on expectation, your actual expectation may be different. So this will be, the balance will be become a loss of current year. So this will be debit to current year SOPL. Understood? Correct. Now, in the current year they said how much it should be maintained. So we calculated that 12% of what closing data, that is 8,80,000. So how much is required? 1,05,600. So for current year how much we should create? 1,05,600. 1,05,600. We will pass one more journal entry for current year. PL account debit to what? Provision for doubtful debt. How much? 1,05,600. 1,05,600. Understood? So this become closing balance of provision for doubtful debt account. I mean this will remain in the balance sheet now. Understood? Correct. Now if you apply this journal entry here, you will be able to understand. Have you written this journal entry first? Write down this journal entry. Then apply, you will be able to understand. Have you understood journal entry now? Journal entry have you understood? Now, because when I will teach you company final account, so this type of adjustment will be required. So that time I will not teach you CA foundation now. That time I will understood, you know this point, because this is actually a concept of CA foundation will be applied in CA inter. If you don't know, then I will also die now. I am teaching you in advance so that at that point of time we can understand each other. Got it? Now have you understood this ledger account? Now I think better understanding will come. Correct? But have you understood this account? Correct. My question to you all: how much data will be shown in balance sheet? How much data will be shown in balance sheet? How much data will be shown in balance sheet? Huh? How much data will be shown in balance sheet? No, data will be this only. Correct. I said how much data. I'm not saying what is the net amount will be shown in balance sheet. Data will be how much? This only 8,80,000 as per account. Your data is this only. This is expected loss which may or may not happen. So if you are saying data is net amount, which will become actual loss now. In balance sheet we show in this way. We write balance sheet and we write on debtor first. Debtor how much? 8,80,000. The debtor is 8,80,000 now. Debtor is 8,80,000. And then we deduct provision for doubtful debt. How much? 1,05,600. So how much? 7,75,000. 7,74,000. Have you understood this point? Have you understood this point? I hope you have understood. Correct. Have you understood provision for doubtful debt? Correct. Yes, sir. So with conservatism, I have linked with what? Provision. Conservatism, you understood? You understood what? Accrual. You understood what? Matching. You understood conservatism. Can you say all are for expense? Only accrual was for income. So when we say income, only accrual concept. When we say expense, it is what? It is what? Accrual, matching, and then what? Conservatism. Understood? Got it? Yes, sir. Now, next concept is what? Depreciation. Now, how to calculate depreciation? I will assume you know. SLM, WDB method. Any other method? There are many methods, but we'll discuss depreciation once again in our CA inter class. Okay, na? So that is my point of view in CA inter. I will teach once again depreciation. My question to you, whether you know one account, accumulated depreciation? Accumulated depreciation. Uh, Accumulated depreciation and provision for depreciation, these two accounts are interchangeably used. Means sometime ICI will say accumulated depreciation, sometime they will say provision for depreciation. You know about provision for depreciation? I think that account also you know. Provision for depreciation. Correct. My question to you all, depreciation is as per which concept? Matching concept. This is my concept given to you. अरे बोलना रे. Matching concept. Now, provision means what? Provision means which concept? Which principle? Conservatism. So whether provision for depreciation is based on conservatism principle or matching concept? Conservatism. Doubt आया? Confused. Initially said matching concept, now you are shifting to conservatism principle. Means after my teaching also there is some doubt. Got it or not? Means initially I only said that depreciation is as per matching cost. I mean conservatism, so I have not taken example of depreciation. Now whether depreciation is due to depreciation is expected expense or current year expense. Current year expense, because benefit derived as per matching concept. We have used that camera na, or will you use in future? We have already used. बताओ, matching concept or it is not a matching concept? Matching concept. What I want to say that this one account known as accumulated depreciation account, and the same account is also known as provision for depreciation account. Now whenever I say provision, provision means which concept? Conservatism. So now you'll have a doubt whether depreciation is based on conservatism or matching. So it is based on matching concept. Means provision for depreciation maha ghatiya account name. Wrong name given. Actually it should not be provision for depreciation. But who is using? ICI using in their ICI study material, and therefore we are forced to teach you like that. Understood? So if they are saying provision for depreciation, just understand, or the question preparer does not know anything. It should not be provision for depreciation. It should be what? Accumulated depreciation. Correct term is what? Accumulated depreciation. Understood? Correct. So I'm just giving one clarification. Ki we open which account? Accumulated depreciation, na? Have you opened any time this account? Means have you opened this account in your life? You have opened. In your life means previous life. Have you opened this account, ledger account? Yes sir, you have opened. In life means in your class only. Abhi to you are not doing what? Practical work, na? Okay. Now, if you are open, then give me journal entry. Batao. Batao. What is the journal entry for depreciation expense? Depreciation is an expense, na? Bolo. Depreciation account debit to what? To what? Doubtful debt. Provision for doubtful debt. ये provision for depreciation. अरे भाई doubtful debt कहाँ से आ गया? I am asking journal entry for depreciation. Depreciation to asset means I am confused what you are saying. You are confused me as a teacher. Sometimes you are saying depreciation to accumulate depreciation. Sometimes you are saying depreciation to asset. What I will say? Acha, first think and then say. I have asked very simple journal entry. I have asked what is the journal entry for depreciation. But what is journal entry for depreciation? Depreciation to asset. Anyone saying other journal entry? अरे बोलना रे. Correct. The doubt is coming because I have informed you. If I would have not informed you, you would have said this only na. अरे बोलना रे. If I would have not informed you about accumulated depreciation, then too you would have given me the journal entry depreciation to asset only. You have never given some other journal entry. Am I correct or not? Means first I have confused you, and then I have asked some journal entry, and you are confused. Because of that reason, you are giving some other journal entry, na? It means I can confuse you. I have a power to what? Confuse you. And ICI is our godfather. Understood what I am saying? If I can, so he to pakka. Understanding. Chalo, you said this journal entry. But what is accumulated depreciation? No, no, no. You said this journal entry fixed na. Acha, this entry is not correct. So give me some other journal entry. Means now I said I don't use which account? Provision for depreciation. Will you use which account? That is more correct. However, you can use in exam provision for depreciation. Also, when you come to CA final, I say don't use. So better don't use here only na. Why to make wrong habit? Am I correct or not? So, acha, you are saying depreciation account debit to what? Accumulated depreciation. So one journal entry is this, one journal entry is this. Which one is correct? Both are correct. Both are correct. Second one is correct. Both are correct. So when to use this? When to use this? Excellent. Excellent. Means I understood you have done something conceptually correct. Chalo, I got the answer, so I will now teach. Correct. I got the correct answer now. It means I need to only now inform you the correct point. Now, for depreciation recording, there are two alternative accounting treatment. Accounting treatment. First, when accumulated depreciation account is maintained. Means if accumulated depreciation account is coming in trial balance, so we can understand this account is maintained. If accumulated depreciation account is coming in trial balance, it means it is maintained. Yes, sir. Then our journal entry will what? Depreciation account debit to what? Asset. Sorry. To accumulated depreciation. My mistake. Point number B. Or when accumulated depreciation account is not maintained, then what journal entry? Depreciation to asset. So both are correct depending upon the situation. Depending upon situation, but both are correct from examination point of view. But practically, this is more correct. Means when I will teach you AS10, AS10 to says this. Understood? Means if suppose somebody asks you the journal entry practically, because you are chartered accountant, always say this. But from exam point of view, to respect the information given the question, na, you have to pass exam, na. That time knowledge will not come. That time smart work will come. So that is what it is also correct. It is also correct depending upon situation. Let me take one example. Okay, what actually the difference is. Example. On 1/4/2023, a plant was purchased at rupees 10 lakh. Rate of depreciation is equal to 10% of cost price. Understood? Batao. So there are two methods. First, what happened? In this, Better write down. When asset is maintained at cost price, and when asset is maintained at what? WDB. What is the meaning of WDB? Written down value. Means after depreciation. Batao. When I am saying when asset is maintained at cost price, it is first or second approach? First approach, because in that case asset is not reduced, but in this case asset is reduced. So asset reduced with the amount of depreciation is nothing but WDB, written down value, or we can say carrying amount. Written down value and carrying amount are same. You know about carrying amount? Carrying amount means at what amount it will be carried in balance sheet. At what amount it will be carried in balance sheet. That is written down value. So now we'll call it carrying amount. What amount? Carrying amount. New term in your life. So when I am saying carrying amount means at what amount it will be carried in balance sheet. Means that is nothing but WDB. Written down value means after depreciation. Correct? Batao. So in this case, what journal entry we are doing? Depreciation account debit to AD. AD means accumulated depreciation. How much? 1 lakh na? 1 lakh. In this what journal entry we are doing? Depreciation account debit to asset. How much? 1 lakh. Means means in this case you will prepare balance sheet. In this also you will prepare balance sheet. Batao. In this asset will come how much? 10 lakh. So at cost price, and from this will deduct what? Less accumulated depreciation. How much? So you can see 1 lakh, this accumulated depreciation will be maintained and it has a credit balance. It has a credit balance now. This account will have which balance? Credit balance. So this is also not a liability. It is not a liability. It will be deducted from asset in balance sheet. So accumulated depreciation is also not a liability because there is no obligation to pay. It is not a liability. Correct? So it is an account which is nothing but an adjustment to asset and therefore deducted from what? Asset. Understood? To 9 lakh will come. But batao. In this, asset will come how much? Directly 9 lakh. Difference you understood? But in both cases, balance sheet will tally na. The same balance sheet na. Means different accounting, but total remains same. Total remains same. Understood? Have you understood this presentation? Correct. Can I continue this example? Example. Suppose same asset was sold on next year. So 31st March 2004, 31st March 2005 at rupees 5 lakh. Correct? Understood? Am I right or not? What will be journal entry? This is the first method. This is second method. Because asset was sold in the next year end. 1 second depreciation. Entire year depreciation we charge. So 1 second. On 31st March 2025. Means this journal entry we have done 31st March 2024. Purchase date was 1/4/2023. Correct. You are not writing, but right, everything right. Because everything will be used in what? CA inter class. And that time I will not do detailing. We already detailed discussion done, huh? That time I will do. Okay. The first 1 second depreciation account debit to what? AD means what? In exam don't write AD. Otherwise they will call you what? छोड़ दे. 1 lakh. Yeah, what is the journal entry? Depreciation account debit to accumulated depreciation how much? Sorry. Asset how much? No, same 1 lakh. It is 10% of cost, Nare. SLM method. I am not teaching you depreciation method right now. Depreciation method I will teach in CA inter class. It is 10% cost, na? So it will be cost. Cost is what? 10 lakh. So depreciation will remain same every year. Correct. Now on the same date will pass sale journal entry. First will give me second approach sale journal entry. So the bank. It was sold at what price? 5 lakh. To asset, what is the carrying amount of the asset? Carrying amount of the asset 8 lakh, na? 8 lakh. 2 year depreciation. 10 lakh minus 1 lakh minus 1 lakh 8 lakh. Correct. The difference is what? Loss on sale. And this loss on sale will be transferred to PL. That is 3 lakh. Understood? Correct. Have you understood this? Now, in this case, batao, what is the bank account? How much? 5 lakh. How much asset account? How much asset account? 8 lakh or 10 lakh? 10 lakh. Now it is maintained with cost price. 10 lakh. Bolna yes or no? You are saying 8 lakh to it to become same only, Ray. So 2 asset 10 lakh. But can you say we have an accumulated depreciation of credit balance of how much? 2 lakh. That account will be now closed by transfer to PP account. I am just passing one compound journal entry. We'll say accumulated depreciation account debit how much? 2 lakh. And ultimately loss will come how much? Same loss will come now. You can see the effect remains same whatever accounting you are using. Effect remains same whatever accounting you are using. Understood? Means can I say in this way कि whenever asset account is sold, yeah, asset is sold, accumulated depreciation account will be closed by debiting it. Have you understood the difference? Normally if question is silent, this is easy to understand, we do this only. If question is silent because ICI is using both, we will do the easier one now. But if question specify about accumulated depreciation either by way of question or by way of information, then you need to follow what? First approach only. Means only to explain, you can say in first approach I am maintaining two account. One is plant I have given a plant account and accumulated depreciation account. Plant account. It was purchased on which date? It was purchased on which date? 1/4/2023. We have done two bank. How much? 10 lakh. Hmm? First method. Second method you can do by row. Ledger account. Okay. This also you can do, but I am just making sure that you have understood. Because I don't know what you have done in CA Foundation. I have to think from overall point of view. Correct? And we need to also maintain what? Accumulated depreciation account. You can also call it provision for depreciation also, huh? Because ICA is using that account. Now, if they said provision, to say provision only. What journal entry we have done at the end? Depreciation to accumulated depreciation. So we'll say on 31st March 2024. By what? Depreciation. How much? 1 lakh. Now we'll close that. Means we'll do the balancing. So this will become what? Closing balance. 31st March 2024. To balance carried down. And this will be deducted from what? Asset in balance sheet now. I hope you are understanding. And now this will become opening balance. By balance brought down. Correct? Now this account will be closed because no entry here. 31st March 2004. By balance brought carried down 10 lakh because no other entry na. And this will come 1/4/2024. To balance brought down. So you can see it is maintained at what price? Cost price only. Understood? Now once again we'll do depreciation journal entry. So once again on 31st March 2025 by depreciation. This all account will be used in one chapter. Huh? There is one chapter cash flow statement and there is one chapter company final account. This account will be using cash flow statement chapter. Okay. So I am helping myself. I am helping myself. Because that time I will not discuss this thing now. That time I'll discuss cash flow statement chapter. Am I right or not? Correct? Why it become? Because there are some basic chapter which has been now transferred to what? CA Foundation. And that time in that basic chapter we used to discuss this thing. And that chapter has been transferred to CA Foundation. And because of that reason now I am worried. If I will not teach you right now, then I will die. So I am saving myself. Nothing free, huh? Nothing free. Correct. 1 lakh. Now on the same date asset has been sold. On the same date asset has been sold. So this account will be closed by transfer to which account? So once the asset is sold, this account will be closed by transfer to which account? Plant account. So we'll say accumulate depreciation to plant. So we'll say what? To what? Plant account. How much? 2 lakh. And this account is closed now. Understood? And this will be transferred to which account? On 31st March 2025 by accumulated depreciation. And ultimately it become 8 lakh now. Now 10 lakh minus 2 lakh it become 8 lakh. Understood? Now we have sold at what price? By bank how much? By bank how much? 5 lakh. And there is a loss of what? By loss on sale transfer to PL 3 lakh. Have you understood the posting part? Posting part have you understood? Posting part have you understood? Depreciation also done from my point of view. Depreciation means whatever I was supposed to discuss of CA foundation that I have discussed. Of course, there are some more part that will be covered automatically in CA inter chapter. So this was from my side, which I think that you should know and which might be not knowing. But there are many other things which I am assuming that you know, or it might happen that is not so much important for CA inter. So if you want some concept to discuss in beginning, you can inform me. So I will take that concept before I start what CA inter. Correct. For example, there is a concept of abnormal loss. So I'm assuming that you know abnormal loss journal entry. That I'm assuming. So if you have doubt, you can ask me that I will also teach. Correct now. Or there might be some other concept which you feel that you are not comfortable that time, and now you want support from my side. So I will help you. But before I start what? CA inter. Understood? So if you found any such concept today, you go home. You just WhatsApp me. So I'll come with that concept. Otherwise, tomorrow I will start what? CA inter. Means this is from my point of view. This much you should know before you enter CA inter class. Other point I'm assuming that you know. Understood? Means there are many other concepts. For example, going concern concept, realization concept. Correct now. Materiality concept. There are many other concepts. But it is quite possible that this concept I will take in CA inter only. Let me ask you one question. What is substance over form? Over form. This is also CA foundation concept. But this I will teach where? In CA inter. This I know I will teach in CA inter. But there was one concept about substance over form. Have you heard about this? Understood? You don't know. But there was one concept. Substance over form. Because I know this I will teach where? In CA inter. And therefore I am not taking. So if you feel that there is some concept which you think that there should be done before I start CA inter, I will take. So just go home, just recollect whatever you have done in CA foundation, open your ICI study material. Correct. But don't ask me to teach that chapter. I am not going to teach any chapter. I will not teach partnership. Correct now. That you don't know the acha I don't know. Because there is no partnership in what CA inter. Are you able to understand what I am saying? अरे बोलना रे. So I am not going to teach that chapter, but any concept you feel yes sir थोड़ा सा uncomfortable है, and if I consider yes it is required, so I will take that concept also. Today this much only. Thank you very much. We'll meet tomorrow. Till then bye bye. Take care. Enjoy your remaining day. Bye bye.